My dear friends, we continue with our study of endgames. So far we have seen endgames of different complexity, and now this is more or less light stuff. My game against Murshed 2003, you see that the position is actually completely equal, and there are opposite colored bishops, and usually in endgames opposite colored bishops, they just mean that the game is a draw. And here, on the other hand, black can still try a bit because he has a pass pawn on f5, but on the other hand, this is nothing so special. It is interesting to observe how easily black succeeds in this game, and this should encourage you also to play simple-looking endgames which are objectively draw. But just if you play according to some plan, then your opponent might find it difficult to handle the rising pressure. So here also in the long run, all black's pieces, bishop e5, pawn on f5, king on f6, the rook and the h pawn if it comes to h4, could potentially start threatening the king on g2. So I was I think justified in trying to win this position, to play rook d7, rook d4, rook c2, rook d1. Okay, at the moment not much is going on, but slowly black is activating his pieces. Rook e2, king g5, king is coming to f4, rook is coming to g1. Sometimes nothing yet much is going on, but it is clear that black has some initiative and that white's pawns are somehow difficult to push. So you see every move black's position improves a bit, and now still white could play something like rook d2 and keep the damage within certain limits, but still after bishop e3 followed by king f4, black has some light initiative. White makes a natural move, plays king f3, and then suddenly after rook c3, king g2 and king h4 finds himself in very serious trouble, because rook g3 is threatened, after this h3 is hanging, sometimes rook g1 is a serious threat, and white still tried rook e7, h5. You see black's king on h4 is completely safe, and black himself works with ideas like rook g3 and rook h3. White tries to attack the black pawn on f5, rook f7, but now already you see that white was distracted from defense. He had, in order to avoid material losses, he had to move his rook to f7, and now black can already start the serious attack against the opponent's king. I go rook c2 check. Now you see that after king f3, rook f2 is made. So he has to pay some attention to this. He goes king f1, rook f2 check, king e1, and now king h3. You see, by playing against the opponent's king, black managed to win a pawn, and now he has two passed pawns and a continuing attack against the king. So bishop d3, king g4, bishop e2, king g5. Black has to retreat his steps a bit, but this is only temporary. Rook h7, rook h2, and now after defending his pawns, black is finally ready to go h4, king f4, to join his forces for a last assault on the opponent's king. So after b4, h4, a4, king f4, you see everybody is coming to join the attack. a5, bishop c3, king f1. Now black is not even interested in taking any pawns, because bishop is controlling the square g7. Black goes king g3, and now all of a sudden there is a very serious attack. Rook h1, rook f2 are threatened, bishop b5, white still tried rook f2, bishop d4, and now you see there are mating threats, rook d7, rook f4 check, and after king h1 they would have followed rook e4, and rook e1 is not possible to defend against. You see, I showed you this position not because of any deep strategical meaning there is to it. It is more a lesson for a practical player. If we return to the very beginning, we see that we had the position where many would have agreed to a draw without any major ado, and on the other hand, the game's continuation showed that black can try to pose serious problems to his opponents, first of all just by simply playing on, and by using the fact that in fact opposite colored bishops, and this is a very important observation for you to remember, they improve the chances of an attacking side, of the side which is attacking the opponent's king, because as we saw, black used all the black squares in order to get active. We saw that the rook was using c3, g3, d2, the king was coming to g5, f4, h4, and g3, and that white was actually unable to fight black's activity on dark squares. And this is an important thing to remember. So once again, in case there are opposite colored bishops, try to be as active as possible, especially if there are any other piece on the board, like the rooks here, and that the play against king has many chances to be successful. So I believe that this is a good and instructive example. We will proceed with a couple of more examples from my practice.